You will learn how to create a composition from multiple footage and how to automatically sequence the footage. You will also learn how to drop layers starting at a specific time, how to trim layers left and right, how to shift the content of a video layer, and also the most important is how to adjust the work area. The two lift and extract editing techniques are also covered. You will learn also how to use the source and the layer panel. It's gonna be pretty interesting. As you might already know, guys, the whole purpose of doing motion graphics in After Effects using videos and so on is to produce a video that you can use outside After Effects. You can use this video on your website, on the social media such as YouTube, Vimeo, Twitter, Facebook if you like. Also, you can render a video, put it on a CD or DVD and mail it to your friends. But also, you could prepare a professional video later on, I hope so, to send it to TVs or to special production houses, and they have their own format which I will inform you. Before you start producing your video, there are few things you need to, organize. The first one is the work area. The work area is the time or the area within which you want to produce your video. Remember that you can come to work area and stretch it, make it for example 9 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever you like. You can also do the same for work area start. So you say, okay, my video is gonna start from this frame here till this frame here. Or you can produce, if you double click on the work area, for the entire composition time. Okay, for us now we want to focus on 5 seconds. Here you are, 5. We press N to put the work area to 5. So we are going to render only 5 seconds. That's the first thing you want to look at. The second thing and the most important is, of course, you guessed it, the composition settings. In the composition settings here, first of all, always ensure that you are in classic 3D for now. If you did Cinema 4D or Ray Trace 3D with extrude and so on, please choose them. But if you have just a motion graphic with an image or a video, please stick to classic 3D. Otherwise, it's going to take a very long time. Let's go back to basic. The next thing you have to look at is the width and the height. 720 pixels means the video is 720p. You could change it later, but it's better to keep it the way you have created. Now, the next thing you want to look at is the frame rate. Well, the frame rate is not going to change during rendering unless you force it to change. For now, it's 30 frames per second. That's cool. You look at the resolution here. If you notice here, the full resolution is 1280 by 720 as set, and it's gonna take 3.5 megabytes per 8-bit per color frame. So we are on the least color possible here, 3.5 megabytes. For a video of 10 seconds at the base of 30, that's 300 frames times 3.5, that will give you the size of the video, now plus or minus of course. If you go down now to half the resolution, what will happen is the size of your video will go less, but the resolution will not go down. You will have very good resolution. Don't worry about the viewer here. The preview here is just for preview. Also, you can go third. Notice the video gets smaller, but you keep resolution, or quarter if you like. This is also very much used if you want to upload a GIF. I will go back to full for now. The duration is 10 seconds, but it depends on the work area. So these are the few things that you should take note. The add to render queue option just over here. So I'll select this option, and you notice in the timeline here, the render queue panel has opened. It has here 3 main settings: the render settings, the output module, and where to output. Let's go to best settings. In the best setting here, you can choose the quality, the resolution, and the proxies that we didn't tackle yet, and the time span if it is the work area or full length. In the quality here, you have best, draft, and wireframe. Draft will give you a low resolution, small size video that you can use just for testing. If you come to resolution, this is actually not the resolution. This is, I would say, it's the size. Because if you, for example, you select half, It's not taking down the resolution of the video, it's just making the video smaller. You will have very good resolution with these sizes here, 640 by 360. If you go to quarter, you have a very small video, which is 320 by 180, sometimes pretty useful, guys. Okay. In short, you will have very good resolution with different size videos. The proxies here, leave it alone because we didn't tackle it until now. In the time sampling, all you have to take care of is the time span. You want it for the length of the composition or the work area. I will leave it now for work area. That's what we agreed in the previous lecture. And you click OK. It's done. Actually, you haven't done much here. Let's go to output module. If I click on lossless, here there will be the output module settings. You have to choose the format and you have to choose what kind of video you want. First, you are interested in the format here. If you are on Windows, AVI is the standard. You can use AVI and you get very large size videos because it's totally uncompressed, but you get also very good quality videos. Also on Windows, you can use QuickTime, which is pretty good, give you high quality, smaller file size, and it's a .mov, very common files to be used. So on Windows, you have the choice. We will go for the AVI now. I will show you the format options. Then we'll come back for QuickTime for the Mac and Windows. I will jump directly to format options because this is very important. The AVI options, as you can see here, for now, these won't mean much for you, and these will change the size here for the NTSC and the PAL. Your best option is none. And you click OK, just to preview. In the channels, you want to select RGB. We'll see later how to use the alpha and RGB plus alpha. And actually, that's all there is. You could resize it, but I don't recommend it at this stage. Later on, you will have more experience and you can resize your videos the way you would like. And there is the cropping if you want to, but mainly that's it. You select AVI, you are on Windows, and you click OK, make sure you are in RGB. Now, there is the other good option, which is QuickTime. The QuickTime can be used on the Mac and Windows. I like QuickTime videos, they're not bad at all. But in After Effects, the format options, there is only one that you can use, and this is animation. The rest cannot be very used easily. These will change the size of your videos, and these will give you some NTSC and PAL. Also, will change the frame rates if you notice. The best option is animation. Mind you, animation will open in QuickTime Player, but animation might not be supported in other video editing programs. So I will select animation and I will click OK. And I will go back to AVI because I'm on Windows, I'm OK with it, and I will click OK. Now the third option here is where you want to save your file. I'll put it wherever we are working here. It's cool for me, I can find it, and click Save. So now you're ready. You did your render settings, output, and where you want to save the file, and actually you click Render. And here you are, it's rendering pretty fast for me. Now, of course, you need to find your file. You will go to your file manager. I bring it in. And I have my challenge here. Motion graphics is AVI. Notice the AVI file here is almost half a gigabyte. It's very big for 5 seconds, imagine. So if I double click, it will open in the film and TV here for me. I can see the video, pretty beautiful, very nice, with a half a gigabyte, guys. So actually, guys, this is all about the render queue. It's very easy to use with huge files. Maybe the QuickTime will be a smaller file, but still, I would recommend that you always use the option Add to Adobe Media Encoder, which I will explain to you how to use it in the next. So in this lecture, we will render this composition and create a new video. Fine, I hope you've taken care of your settings. This is a 720p, 30 frames per second, and we want the full resolution, and this is our work area. Now to render a composition, I'm gonna give you the best way. Okay, you come to Comp and you go to Adobe Media Encoder queue. Now we can use Add to Render Queue, but I can assure you you're gonna have problems with the codec. From now on, even for the previous versions of After Effects CC, I will recommend that you always use Add to Adobe Media Encoder. It seems the second one here is gonna be phased out. That's my personal opinion. So you click and you go to Add to Media Encoder. Immediately Adobe Media Encoder will pop up. If it didn't pop up, it means the installation that you have done for After Effects and Media Encoder did not work very fine. Usually, Adobe Media Encoder is installed with After Effects. Nevertheless, I will show you in the next lecture, if it doesn't pop up, how to pick a composition just from Adobe Media Encoder. Now here there is Challenge Motion Graphics. This is the name of the composition. And somehow there is already a setting. This is not the default setting. Maybe you have something else on your screen. This is just the last setting I used. It really doesn't matter. Now the best way to work, let's say you are uploading to YouTube, is to find a preset. Over here you have the system presets, and there are hundreds of presets that you can use. Your interest will be in social media. If you drill down, you will notice that you have Facebook and Vimeo and YouTube and also Twitter somewhere. Here is Twitter. Let's take an example here. Let's say we want to produce a video for YouTube, but our composition is 720p. And what you want to do is to click and drag and drop it under your composition. Let's delete the previous one. Okay, fine. Over here you have the output file where you want to save your video. If you click, you will notice that there is AE project challenge animation AME. Let's go to AE project to show you exactly what's happening. Now I saved the project in AE project, and After Effects has created a folder which has the name of the composition plus Adobe Media Encoder. Okay, if you double click, the video is going to be saved here. I will just cancel. Now you notice there is a 2 here, Motion Graphics 2. That's because I've been saving Motion Graphics 1, 2 and so on. Actually, you are ready. That's all that has to happen. All you have to do is to pick the preset and drop it under the queue. Now you're ready to start producing your video. Click on the arrow. Here you are. So notice we have rendered the video now only 5 seconds. It's very speedy here. Let's go see our video. I'll click on the link and it opens where it has saved it. Now notice how many temporary projects I have here, because I tried this or I clicked several times. You really don't need them. You can care less about them. You can even delete them. That's okay. He will recreate them. This is your video. If you double click, here you are. It starts opening. For me, it's opening in VLC. And you have your video, and notice the 5 seconds here. Cool, guys. So actually you produced your video, and that's it. It's as simple as this. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you in the next lecture.